Okay, so there are about 100 reasons why as a DJ you should always bring multiple USBs with you to any gig, but let me give you a new reason that I didn't know could be a thing. The other weekend, I had a show out of town and I was playing, it was basically a community arts festival, and they hired a live sound engineer who I'm pretty positive primarily works with bands, and he admitted to me he's not super familiar with DJ gear. So they rented CDJs and a mixer for me, and when it was time for my sound check, I go up to on the stage, and if you're familiar with CDJs, they connect to the mixer and you plug your USB into each individual CDJ if they're not linked, or they are linked, which they should be. And you can access your music once you load into one CDJ from any of the others, right? When I get up to soundcheck, the USB ports on both CDJs had a cable in them that was plugged into the back of the mixer. And so I went over and I asked the sound guy, I was like, hey, can we fix the wiring on the CDJs? And so he comes up and he's like, what's the problem? You can use this. And he pointed to the USB port on the mixer and told me to plug my USB into the mixer. I was like, no. The CDJs won't be able to read my USB from the mixer. I have to plug into the decks themselves. And he was like, oh, and so I showed him. I was like, you can use RCA to RCA. Just make sure you line the channels up and, we'll be good. Can get an Ethernet cord so we can link the two CDJs. So long story short, because there was confusion and cables were missing, my sound check got pushed to the end instead of being up front. I had to kind of squeeze in before the event was supposed to start. I had plugged both of my USBs in just because they had told me it was running on the latest software. So I forgot which one I had my one library or device plus on, and which was the old regular library, since Rekordbox just had all those fun updates. So I plugged both in and both were reading, and I was like, okay, cool, we're good to go, sounds good. And during my set, there was one song that I was loading that I wanted to start from the beginning, but there's nothing to really beat match with because it is like a spoken word piece before the beat drops. And so just to check myself, I hit sync to make sure I was in time, and then I got a little error message that was like, this isn't connected to anything, basically. And that's when I realized the Ethernet cable never appeared and the CDJs were not linked. So good thing that I just, for some reason, decided to plug both of my USBs in, because that was how I had to play. And I beat match. I only utilize sync in a scenario like that where there is truly nothing to latch onto when you're trying to beat match. But in that case, I was like, oh, I hope my muscle memory is good. And it worked out perfectly.